Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Monday, the 1st of June. And we're into week 10 now of our lockdown here. And it's been 2 months since the lockdown began, but we'll get to that a bit later on in today's show. Well, today we're going to be talking about jams and chutneys. Now, who loves a good jam or chutney? Let me know down below. And joining me is my special guest for this afternoon's show. Good afternoon to you. Welcome along.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And today's program is brought to you by the Australian Women's Weekly Jam Cookbook. Now I'm going to be putting it up there. There it is. A Woman's Weekly Jam Cookbook. And preserves are the essential ingredient in many recipes. A good homemade jam can turn an ordinary sponge into a splendid one. Just a spoonful of beetroot chutney or onion relish will transfer a simple steak sandwich into a gourmet delight. Use this little book to make your own collection of jams, marmalades, chutneys, and more. And today's recipe is any berry jam. And I'm going to get my oxider to read you that recipe. Here he is now.
Okay, so the ingredients for any berry jam are 125 grams of blackberries, 125 grams of blueberries, 250 grams of raspberries, 500 grams of strawberries, hulled, 1/3 a cup of lemon juice, and 4 cups of white granulated sugar. Now the recipe is as follows. 1. Stir ingredients in large saucepan over high heat without boiling until sugar dissolves. Bring to the boil. Reduce heat, simmer, uncovered without stirring, about 30 minutes or until the jam gels when tested. Pour hot jam into number 2. Pour hot jam into hot sterilized jars. Seal immediately. Label and date the jars when cold. And an added tip, use any combination of berries you like to collectively weigh 1 kilogram. So it's quite a short and easy one.
Now, the next recipe I've got for you is a chutney. So I'll just pause that and I'll come back to that in a moment. You're watching the jam and chutney segment. Our next recipe today from the Jam Cookbook is beetroot chutney. Now, what is beetroot chutney? What is chutney? Well, chutney is a mixture of marinated fruits and vegetables. And chutney consists of onions, sugar, vinegar, assorted fruits, and vegetables. And what is chutney used for? Well, chutney is used for curries, served on cold meats and cheese, and in sandwiches. Now, the recipe that I've got here now is beetroot chutney. We've got 2 recipes. from this book today, two chutney recipes. Here's my upsider to read you the beetroot chutney recipe. Here it is now.
Okay. The beetroot chutney recipe is as follows. The ingredients are 6 medium fresh beetroot, pruned, 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, 1 cinnamon stick, broken, 4 cardamom pods, bruised, 4 large green-skinned apples, peeled, cored, and chopped coarsely, 1 medium red onion, chopped coarsely, 2 cloves of garlic, crushed, 2 centimeter piece of fresh ginger grated, 1 cup of white granulated sugar, 2 cups of white vinegar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 1 teaspoon of coarse cooking salt. Now for the recipe. Step number 1. Boil, steam, or microwave beetroot until tender. Drain. When cool enough to handle, peel. Finally, chop half the beetroot. Blend or process the remaining beetroot until smooth. Number 2. Tie spices in muslin. Combine pureed beetroot and muslin bag with apple, onion, garlic, ginger, sugar, vinegar, juice and salt in a large saucepan. Stir over high heat without boiling until sugar dissolves. Bring to the boil. Reduce heat, simmer uncovered, stirring occasionally for 30 minutes. Add chopped beetroot, simmer uncovered about 10 minutes or until chutney is thick. Discard the muslin bag. Step number 3. Spoon hot chutney into hot sterilized jars and seal immediately. Label and date the jars when cold. And Granny Smith apples are best for this recipe. Store chutney in a cool, dark place for at least 3 weeks before opening, so you've got to store it for a while. And then refrigerate. Wear disposable gloves when peeling beetroot as it can stain hands. Now that recipe comes to a prep and cook time of an hour and a quarter, and it makes 6 cups of chutney.
The next recipe is another chutney, so we will be making green tomato chutney next.
Okay.
Here now is the green tomato chutney, and just before I hand over to my outsider to read the recipe, Granny Smith apples are best for this recipe. Now, this chutney contains sultanas and apples as well, so a sweet and savory version. And what can you serve chutney with? Well, like I said just a few moments ago, um, on burgers, curries, and chutney is used for sandwich filling. Now for the following recipe.
Alright. Green tomato chutney this is, with the ingredients being 2 kilograms of green tomatoes, cored and chopped coarsely, 2 large brown onions chopped coarsely, 2 large green skinned apples peeled, cored and chopped coarsely, 2 cups of raw sugar, 2.5 cups of cider vinegar, 1 cup of sultanas, 4 fresh long red chilies chopped finely, 6 cloves of garlic chopped finely, and last but not least, 2 teaspoons of coarse cooking. The recipe is as follows. Step number 1. Stir ingredients in large saucepan over high heat without boiling until sugar dissolves. Bring to the boil. Reduce heat, simmer uncovered, stirring occasionally, about 1.5 hours or until the chutney is thick. Step number 2. Spoon hot chutney into hot sterilized jars, seal immediately, label and date the jars once they have cooled down. Now there's a tip and a serving suggestion for this recipe. The tip is Granny Smith apples are best for this recipe, as stated by Barry. Store the chutney in a cool, dark place for at least 3 weeks before opening. Refrigerate after opening. This recipe is quite spicy. For a milder version, you can remove the seeds from the chilies or use less chili. And the serving suggestion is to serve with cold meats and cheese or on a sandwich or burger.
My last recipe today is apricot or mango chutney.
Alright.
Now, mango chutney, of course, again can be used served with on a sandwich and in curries and in cold meats. And enjoy the last recipe that we will be bringing you before we move on to general stuff. So we hope that you enjoy the 3 recipes that we brought to you. Is that right, 3?
This is the fourth.
So we hope that you enjoy the 4 recipes that we brought to you today. And this is the final recipe before we move into general stuff in the closing segment.
Alright, last but not least, we've got mango chutney. Quite a popular one. Ingredients for this chutney are 3 medium mangoes chopped coarsely, 1 cup of coarsely chopped dried apricots, 2 medium red onions chopped finely, 1.5 cups of firmly packed light brown sugar, 2 cups of cider vinegar, 6 cloves of garlic chopped finely, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of dried chili flakes, and 1 teaspoon of coarse cooking salt. Now this is the recipe for this chutney. Number 1. Stir ingredients in a large saucepan over high heat without boiling until the sugar dissolves. Bring to the boil. Reduce heat, simmer uncovered, stirring occasionally about 1 hour or until the chutney is thick. Number 2. Spoon hot chutney into hot sterilized jars, seal immediately, and label and date jars when cold, just like you would have done with all the other recipes. The tip for this is store the chutney in a cool, dark place for at least 3 weeks before opening, refrigerate after opening, and the serving suggestion is that this chutney is best served with grilled meats, fish, or curry. So from the 4 recipes, the important thing is to know what chutney goes with what and make sure you keep it stored for 3 weeks in a cool place.
Now, before we move on to the closing, the general stuff, 4 recipes that my outsider had brought to you and I've talked about. It is important to use the right equipment for making jams and chutneys. Always make sure that you use clean, sterilized hot jars before you put the chutney in. And never use cracked jars. Here's my outsider.
For tips,
You're my outsider.
and
So never. Well, you've got a comment on this.
um, yeah, I mean Barry covered lots of it. Make sure you know if your chutney is sweet or less sweet, so that you know what it'll go well with. Because not all of them go with everything. And like I said, cool, dark place for 3 weeks.
And never use cracked jars like that and make sure that you sterilize them in hot water first.
Which is especially important during this time because, as everyone knows, there's a rampant virus going around that we want to avoid at all costs. So if you have a clean kitchen, you've got clean food.
And make sure you have good equipment for making chutney as well. And that goes to the jam. And look on the instructions on how to sterilize jars and how much sugar to put in or how much salt and how much vinegar, how much fruit you're putting in there and stuff like that. So we hope that you've enjoyed the 4 recipes. Now on to some general stuff. It is important to be caring about one another during this difficult time and be there for one another. I said this on a show that I did on Saturday here and again yesterday. So the important message that I'd like to bring to you now before we close the show is always be there for one another, support one another. Don't get angry or upset because you've had to stay home, but the good news is I think restrictions are starting to lift even further now, so that's good news. And like I said, as we brought you the 4 recipes, we do hope that you've enjoyed them and look up a recipe on how to make a good jam or chutney. And like I said at the beginning, chutney is used to serve on burgers, curries, ham, and sandwiches. And you can even make a sauce out of it. So look up a recipe involving your favorite jam or chutney. And 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 I'd like to close the show with the jam segment again. Okay. Jam is used on served on scones, hot scones for breakfast, and even on in sponge cakes, things like that. So we do hope that you enjoy the jam recipes and the jam recipe and chutney recipes that my upside has brought to you today. We hope to see you next time on the show next Monday when we bring you the long weekend wrap. I think next Monday. I think it's a long weekend.
It is indeed.
So in ending the show today, please take care on the roads. Okay, don't drive like a maniac or you'll go bang, and don't use your mobile phone. Otherwise, you know what will happen. The police will be after you, and double demerit points will be enforced too from midnight on Thursday. I think so. If you or your passenger, of course, not wearing your seatbelt, that's it. Stop it or cop it. And this is the message that My outsider and I would like to leave with you today. Thanks for your company on this Monday, the 1st of June. I'm Barry Fair. On behalf of myself and my outsider, we wish you a safe and a happy rest of Monday afternoon. And do take care of one another, and I will see you here again tomorrow in the studio for another episode. But until then, guys, take care of yourself. We're into week 10 of the lockdown now, and hang in there. We'll be able to go back to our day option services soon, and I will give you an update of when that will happen. But until then, guys, hang in there. Talk to someone if you're upset, and and phone Lifeline if you want. If you need someone to talk to, and the number that we rely on 24 hours a day, that's 000. Please do not ring that number unless you've got a critical time thing on your hands. Don't ring them just to say you're bored. That number is only for emergencies only. And it's now coming up to 2 o'clock here on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Thanks for your company this afternoon and on the show. And thanks for watching the Jam and Chutney segment. And this program has been brought to you today by the Woman's Weekly Jam Cookbook. And from me and my outsider, it's bye for now. And thanks for watching. Bye bye, everybody.